attention to Lebanon, a country whose economy has been pushed to the brink of collapse. The Lebanese pound has lost 85% of its value since anti-government protests broke out last October. Decades of government corruption and financial mismanagement has resulted in Lebanon reaching where it has. For more on this story, we can bring in Dima de Clerk, fellow researcher at the French Institute for the Middle East and history professor at the American University of Beirut. Thank you very much for speaking to us here on France 24. Now, we know the situation that Lebanon is in currently. The middle class is being wiped out. Staples have gotten too expensive. Is there a way out of this current crisis?
Yes, there are ways out of this current crisis. Either you can have a positive way out of the crisis when the U.S. sanctions will be levied and not be sanctioning the whole Lebanese population, because now, in the name of sanctioning Hezbollah, the whole Lebanese population is being sanctioned. Hezbollah does not have any money in the banks, so they have parallel monetary systems, and so they're not really involved in the banks. So those that are really paying the price are all the Lebanese, the rest of the Lebanese. The other outcome could be definitely a civil war. And as you mentioned earlier about the book I've written about the Lebanese war from 1975 to 1990, I'm definitely not ready to write another one on a prospective Lebanese war that might erupt anytime, definitely, because everything starts with economic problems or with ideological or political problems, but it will all every time boil down to confessional or sectarian issues. So this is the real threat. So that everything boils down to sectarian issues, and that the Lebanese will go back.
I'm sorry to interrupt you there. Because that is the problem, the sectarian issues, the way the country is governed, because we did have protests out on the streets last year. People wanted a change in the way Lebanon was governed. Even after Saad Hariri's resignation and the new prime minister was sworn in, people still maintain the pressure out on the streets. We had protests continuing this year. They stopped because of the COVID-19. Clearly, there's something wrong with the way that Lebanon is governed, and people want to change that. They want people in power to look like them, which currently it isn't.
Yes, but if you realize, if you are on the ground, you will realize that the revolution is not what it was in October 2019. Things have changed definitely, and less people are on the streets and on the ground. If one can imagine, it is a little bit absurd to imagine that in 6 months a government will be able to eradicate all kinds of corruption in the government, a corruption that's been going on for more than 30 years if you don't count the Lebanese war before it. So a corruption which is everywhere. In the public administration, all the civil servants of the state have been assigned there by the ruling class, and the ruling class for 30 years have been all the warlords that were the militia leaders.
I understand your point that the government cannot just wave a magic wand and make everything better in a couple of months' time. That is clear.
Exactly.
I'm not saying they should be able to do that, but they cannot even agree on terms of a bailout with the IMF.
Oh, definitely, because there are certain tensions within the government. The government is not a monolithic force, and you have people that want absolutely to, let's say, go towards an independent judiciary system, and they also want to go into forensic audit, whereas some people in the government are against the forensic audit and against definitely the independence of the judiciary system with respect to the political the political class. Why? Because in the government you also have people, apart from those that come from the uprising, okay, that were on the streets in October, you have some people that are not ready to abandon all the all the spoils that they have accumulated during all these years, and they will definitely fight in order not to abandon these spoils. So the forensic audit is important because it will unveil who has stolen and how much. You see what I mean? And then you need the independent judiciary system to make these people accountable and eventually put them in jail or just be able to get back the money they have stolen. They've been stealing for more than 30 years.
Dima de Clerk, we're going to have to leave it there. Thank you very much for joining us on the program today.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for watching.